Hi, Core Life. It's Lauren Milton here, registered dietitian at Core Life in Odenton. Thanks again for joining me today for Eating Well with Core Life. Today, we're going to talk about how to reduce added sugars in your daily diet. But before we get started, I want to remind you that even though our offices are temporarily closed, or some of them are still temporarily closed, you can still take advantage of telehealth visits and track your progress using our app and remote patient monitoring program. So if that's something that you're interested in or want to take advantage of, call your office, send them an email, and they will get you scheduled. Also, if your office has opened and you haven't scheduled your in-person visit yet, you can still get in touch with your office by calling or emailing them and coming in. And we'd love to see you. So like I said, we're going to talk about how to reduce your added sugar intake. So why is that important? Monitoring your added sugar intake is important for a wide variety of reasons. As you may know, high added sugar intake has been linked from everything to cavities in your teeth, to obesity, to type 2 diabetes, to heart disease, and many other health conditions, and can last, from childhood into adulthood. It can also cause unnecessary weight gain, and so it's useful to know and be aware of how much added sugar you're eating. Luckily, like we talked about a while back when I did the series on how to read the new food label, it lends itself to helping you track your added sugar more accurately these days than in the past. On an ingredient label, sugar may appear under many, many names. There's actually more than 50. Some of the most common ones include sugar, cane sugar, evaporated cane juice, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, raw sugar, and crystal solids. And don't forget, brown sugar, honey, maple syrup, and brown rice syrup also count as added sugars. The 2015 Dietary Guidelines for Americans recommends limiting added sugar to no more than 10% of your daily calories. So if you follow a 2,000 calorie a day diet, that's about 12 teaspoons of sugar, which is about 48 grams of added sugar. So keep that in mind as you're starting to track your added sugars. And one thing I typically recommend is, rather than obsessing over the grams and the teaspoons, like if you notice that your diet is really high in added sugars right now, focus on reducing them by limiting products that contain them. So let's talk about those. Some surprising, there's the usual culprits like sugar sweetened beverages, desserts, candy, things like that. But where might some added sugars be hiding that you don't realize? Some whole grain cereals and granola, instant oatmeal, the flavored kinds, some frozen foods, granola bars, protein bars, cereal bars, a lot of sauces, surprisingly, dried fruit, some fruit juices, barbecue sauce, ketchup, condiments, things like that. So how can you work to decrease the amount of added sugar? Number one, read the label. This is the first step in reducing your added sugar intake. It takes place in the grocery store. So scanning labels for added sweeteners, things like that, and instead of buying those things, fill your shopping cart with healthier options. So try usually using naturally sweet fruits and vegetables when baking and cooking. So things like bananas, sweet potatoes, apples. You can add a mashed banana to your oatmeal and microwave it for a minute, which adds sweetness instead of getting those already flavored oatmeals that have all that added sugar in it. A good rule of thumb that I like to tell people, for like a protein bar, really anything, a serving, you want to try to stay under less than 10 grams of added sugar per serving. So with your yogurts, things like that. Again, we've talked about this before, cutting back on sugar sweetened beverages. So choosing plain water most of the time. You can do sparkling water, unsweetened tea. Milk is very nutritious. So if you need some flavor to your water, I suggest adding herbs and fruit for that extra flavor. And then avoid sauces with lots of sugar. Like I said earlier, a lot of condiments and like pasta sauces can have a lot of added sugar. So making them yourself at home, you can control what goes in them. You can control how much sugar you put in if you add sugar to sauces, and then gradually cutting back. And you probably won't even know. But you can also, if you're not really into making your own at home, take 2 pasta sauces, turn them on the back, or condiments, even ketchup, and check, find which one has a lower sugar and try those and see what you think. Checking for added sugar in canned fruit and just other foods. If you do the little fruits in the cups, those are great, but try and get the ones that are in 100% juice, so that way you're not getting any added sugar. And if you want to even decrease it further, you can drain it. Consider other natural or artificial sweeteners. Some people are really iffy about artificial sweeteners, but when it comes to calories and added sugars, I would rather you go for the artificial sweeteners if you don't have a problem with tolerating the taste of it. I know some people are very sensitive, but those don't give you any calories. So when it comes to weight loss and gain, going for the natural sweeteners like stevia or the artificial sweeteners like Splenda, things like that can really save you a lot of calories. Reducing sugars when you are baking and just watching your portions of dessert. So something I like to do is whenever I make something that usually calls for, let's say, a cup of sugar, I like to reduce it to half a cup, because you're saving, number one, a ton of calories and sugar. But a lot of times you can't even notice, and it's still sweet, so you still get what you're looking for, but you're actually saving a lot of calories. So try that and see if you notice a big difference. Chances are you probably won't. So something to look out for. And the last piece of advice, it doesn't really sound intuitive, I guess, with reducing added sugars, but make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Whether or not you notice, we've talked about this before, getting enough sleep really affects how your hormones react throughout the day, especially your hunger hormones. So a lot of times you may notice on the days that you're not getting enough sleep and that you're a little bit more tired, your body is really craving sugar and things like that. So getting enough sleep can really help you naturally regulate how much added sugar that you're putting in your body, because you're not going to be craving it. I really suggest making a healthier relationship with the food instead of overall focusing on a sugar-free diet. So occasionally if you want dessert, that's fine, but try, focusing on how, fueling yourself with good foods makes you feel. And a lot of times those foods are going to be naturally low in added sugar. Encourage positive associations with food like fruits and vegetables by playing up, their good qualities and their fresh taste. And save, like I said, save the super sweet stuff for special occasions. And I think, all these things put together can really help you reduce that added sugar overall. So I hope that gave you some good tips and tricks that you can put into use immediately. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave that in the comments below, or let me know any topics you would like me to cover. Don't forget to check out the cooking demos with Nick, the fitness workouts with Corey, and we hope to see you very soon, Core Life. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.